ninja, JK, dupla, jinxa, bota, chakra. Em cada linha de faca, face, macramé no micado, base, espadas por frases, sintático, repara no que diga, é paradigmático, não tenho paralelo, sou para lá de mágico, sabes como eu rolo, martelo pneumático, técnica secreta do monstro roxo. Estamos a meter-nos no dojo, estamos a manter combos no jogo, só com uma espada nos tojos. Plano picado, não sabes de onde esta ave vem, nenhum radar pode detectar onde está a nave, mãe, tu sabes bem. Somos a clique, somos o clã. É Monster Jinx cabrão, respeito ao vais comer tartan. Na terra do nunca não digo banzai, vivo na espunca e tenho um bonsai. Ninja que é ninja, ninja, frotas imperiais. E bate mal, logo bate mais, a minha crew não sem espelhos. Na rua, dragão azul, dragão vermelho, sento o silêncio. Veste shinobi, nunca me canso, sou de Nairobi. Ágil como um ninja, rápido como um ninja, letal como um ninja, brutal como um ninja, fatal como um ninja, forte como um ninja, secreto como um ninja, devo mesmo ser um ninja.
Esta é para os meus ninjas, só para os meus ninjas. Onde é que estão os meus ninjas, 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 ninjas. Esta é para os meus ninjas, só para os meus ninjas. Onde é que estão os meus ninjas, 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 ninjas,
Na muralha manda a pausa, tartaruga ninja, sensei roda no ar, Kawasaki ninja, Jinx é só shurikens, estrelas ninja, eu só me dou com os meus, muralha da China, o caminho do tigre. Em Cobra Kai, cobra capelo, cuspo veneno, curto o teu medo, bate o sai, chega o teu pelo, mato de gelo, todo de preto, sado ao samurai, sabre com sangue, saque, bota mais, no queiro com cutelo, sou o zorro no tornado, katana a brilhar, demónio no banco do lado, agora vês-me, agora não, bomba de fumo, teleportado, Darth Vader desta merda, olha-me de esguelha, estás esganado. Eu sou a morte, dou-te com a ceifa no cachaço, corta melancia, fruto ninja perturbado, ninja reconhece ninja, a palavra é samurai, sou um ninja de outra galáxia, Jedi.
Esta é para os meus ninjas, só para os meus ninjas. Onde é que estão os meus ninjas, 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 ninjas. Esta é para os meus ninjas, só para os meus ninjas. Onde é que estão os meus ninjas, 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 ninjas.
Hey folks, and we are live today, and good evening everyone out there, and welcome to another episode of Top 5 Collaborations with the Westerosi Ninja and the Dawg Show. Usually featuring our top 5 list from a variety of subjects, but today we're going to have a special stream here where we're going to talk about the latest and greatest Cobra Kai Season 2 trailer that just popped up a couple of days ago. And joining me as usual is Dawg from the Dawg Show. So what's going on, Dawg? What's happening with you?
Oh man, doing well, Ninja. Great to be here again. And yeah, I think this trailer popped a couple days ago. Yeah, you sent it to me.
Yep.
Thank you for that. And yeah, I was just like blown out of the water for this. I think a few of our questions were kind of answered about, you know, that we had in our last stream that we talked about Cobra Kai. But we'll get into that too. So basically, I've you know, set up a slideshow here, right, where we're just gonna kind of go through the trailer, give our thoughts, things of that nature, what we expect for season 2, and yeah, I am absolutely stoked for season 2 just as much as I am for Game of Thrones right now. I got to tell you the truth here, Mel. I don't know which one I'm more stoked for right now, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. I mean, I think they're really, really even because I might be just a little bit more stoked on, you know, season 8 of Game of Thrones, but this is a really, really close second, and you know, I'm really looking forward to this because, you know, I mean, it brings back a lot of nostalgia for us, right? Back when we were kids watching the original movies, and you know, and it's just so well done in terms of you know, the acting, the story. it's just the overall quality of the show that, it really deserves a lot of the praise that it's been getting in the press. And yeah, and also at the end of the stream, I like to basically debut a new thing for our streams, which I hope that everybody will love. And something I worked on this morning. And originally, the idea was that we weren't even going to have a stream today, right, Dog? Because
right.
Yeah, because I was going to be flying out of town today, but my flight's been pushed back to Tuesday. So my loss is your gain, guys, in terms of the streams. So yeah, and this is a great way to basically relieve some of the headaches involved of basically missing that flight or getting that flight delayed. So glad you're here, Dog, and I'm glad that you were able to kind of do this stuff on a late notice. So thank you very much for that.
Oh yeah, not a problem. I'm glad we could do this here today and get a chance to talk about this trailer before you went off on vacation and that. So
yeah. And
hello, Rhodes Rants on Star Wars and Living My Rhapsody. Great to see you folks in there. Yeah, great. Thanks a lot. I think you two are the only ones that are interested in Cobra Kai, which is perfectly okay. So anyway. Again, thanks a lot, Rhodes and Elmar, for stopping by, and I think we should get going. The title of the trailer is actually called Two Dojos, One Fight, and there was a lot of great scenes in this trailer. Don't you think so, Dog? I mean, this was a great trailer. Oh, absolutely, and I was just amazed that because I was talking to Milt prior to our start, right? And I said, I think about a minute into it, I was like, wow, I got a lot of images here already, right? I mean, there was probably, I think, 76 images total, or something close to that, right? Of like just cut to this next shot of something, right? So yeah, there was a lot they showed us in the 2 minutes, and it was intense by the end of it. So absolutely well done on their part. So yeah, I mean, in fact, I think we got a lot more information out of this trailer than in any other trailers of season 8 Game of Thrones. Don't you think so? Definitely. Yeah. We had a lot of questions about what was going on with Crease. Yeah. How are things going to line up with Johnny, Crease, Daniel, right? Even some of the kids, right? That where are they going to join up? Are they going to be Miyagi Dojo? Are they going to be with Cobra Kai? Are they even going to be in karate, right, or something of that nature, right? We're going to get a few of those questions answered, I think, too, or they were answered actually in this trailer. So yes, and if any show deserves 10,000 streams for a trailer, it should be this show, right? Absolutely. Anyway, yeah, great, and great job, Dog, with the slideshows and everything else, and you guys are on the Westeros Ninja channel, so what does that usually mean, Dog? Oh, there's usually trivia. There's always trivia. Well, unfortunately, there's no trivia tonight because there's such late notice. So sorry about that, guys. So we're just going to go ahead. I dropped the ball on that. Yeah, so let's just go ahead and get into the trailer. And we have our first scene of the trailer. Johnny goes, strike hard, strike first, and no mercy, Dog. What do you think about this? Yeah, I thought this was a great way to start it, and I wanted to make sure, like, when I started making the slide, I was like, well, I wanted to make sure I showed that first picture, right? Because usually when you see that look, right, that sunset there, it just reminds me of the Karate Kid films, right? I don't know what it is. I'm just ready to hear Bananarama start, sounding off, if you will, right? And then we get the awesome, strike first, strike hard, no mercy, and the entrance for Johnny Lawrence there, right? And then we get a look at all his students. I wanted to ask you, Milt. I was kind of curious if you remembered from the first film or not. I noticed all the students now are in, they have white gis, of course. Yep. And they all have white belts. Yep. Right. I don't know if did Johnny knock them all down a peg or exactly. Yeah. In the little teaser clip that came out after the first trailer, Johnny got mad at them for cheating, right? And basically teach him a lesson about cheating and basically fighting without any honor. He knocked them all down to white belts again. Ooh. So I mean, Johnny's trying to teach these kids right.
And then in the third scene, the bottom scene there, it looks like we have a Anakin Skywalker, and a Darth Sidious scene going on here with a Hawk basically just, punching a dummy bag and a punching bag, and all of a sudden Crease is like looking at him, just with, I'm not sure, with admiration, with respect, or with, this could be somebody that I can corrupt for my own evil ends. What do you think, Dawg?
I think it's more, I think as we get into the trailer, we're going to find out it's more to possibly corrupt than other things, right? Than other motives here, right? But yeah, we get, Hawk walking in, right? And we get that sign back there, the great slogan, Cobra Kai never dies, right? Yeah. And he's, really angry, right? And, showing some ferocity there, right? And then we get the picture of John Crease kind of stepping in. They kind of go back to where he talks about, hey, Cobra Kai is right back where it belongs, back on top, right? Yeah. I think that's where they showed him at first, right there.
Yeah, and if you were Hawk, I mean, wouldn't you be mad having to do like 50 push-ups after being screamed at by Johnny like that same day?
Right.
So anyway, for cheating and hitting the guy, behind.
Now keep an eye. Like, I don't know if you can tell. Mel might be kind of small there, but you can see he's got a black eye. His eye was dotted, if you will.
Oh yeah.
Right. I think on the left side there. Right. I think he's got a nice shiner. Right. So I think that might have something to do with it as well.
Yep. And and I was just kidding around about like it probably didn't happen the same day that Johnny yelled at him, made him do the 50 push-ups, but something happened, right? And we will go to the next scene, and what do we have here?
Right. Yeah. So we get a clip of basically what happens at the very end of season 1, episode 10, right? And we get the answers of kind of what happened right afterward, right? Where Johnny's like, I thought you were dead, right? And now we see Johnny showing some ferocity, right? Him and Crease kind of tangle a little bit, and then Johnny gets tossed right into the mirror, and then you hear Crease say, "Cobra Kai never dies," right? And then then we get him looking at him. Johnny's looking up at him. And then we clip over to Daniel. Milt, what'd you think here?
Well, I mean, I was really surprised, in terms of how easily Johnny got pushed around by Crease in this scene here. I mean, basically, I mean, it was obvious that Johnny didn't want Crease to be there because he started throwing punches, right, at Crease, and Crease just blocked him easily. Got a hold of him, just basically pushed him back. I'm kind of surprised that he didn't go into the mirror and have a bunch of paint, drop on top of him like Terry Silver, but still it's, I mean, I was really surprised and impressed by Crease's, I guess, ability still at his advanced age in a way, because I mean, he's no Miyagi, and his hands are like totally injured right from the time he smashed those car windows. So, I mean, what do you think about that?
That totally was the big surprise for me there, too, Mel. I didn't think that, to be honest with you, I thought Crease was going to be more like a corruptor, right? And not so much, physical entanglements or anything of that nature, right? I didn't think it. I thought it was just going to be Johnny was going to be conflicted about, hey, should he take Crease in or should he not take Crease in, things of that nature, right? But no, they went with Crease's an absolute badass, if you will, right? Yeah. And I think we were chit chatting a little bit before, right? And I had gone back and I'd watched Mr. Miyagi versus Crease and Terry Silver and the kid from General Hospital.
Yeah, Mike Barnes.
Mike Barnes, right?
The bad boy.
Yeah. So I noticed at one point Mr. Miyagi threw a punch or a kick or something, and Crease actually dodged it. And I just found that remarkable for anybody to dodge something that Mr. Miyagi threw at them, right? I mean, because Mr. Miyagi's like, I mean, he's freaking, he's like Superman to, the human beings of fictional characters, right? And Crease actually did dodge one of his blows. So I would say that Crease is probably no joke, right? They were definitely, so that was some evidence that I had that Crease is, he's all world.
All right, cool. Yeah. I mean, I think you have to be pretty good to be the sensei of such a big school like Cobra Kai, when they were really popular. But go ahead, Dawg.
maybe it was Johnny crashing into the mirror or whatever. But now look at the difference in the facial expression from our top center there to what's going on in the top and the bottom left there, right? Now there's some sort of calm or peace or balance here that's going on. His anger, I think his anger went a little over the top, and Crease used it against him, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame Johnny either, because the last time he saw Crease, right, Crease had him in the stranglehold, about ready to choke him to death, before Miyagi intervened. And also, I think the bottom two scenes in your slide there, basically it's just an extension of a previous teaser that came out maybe a week and a half ago. Essentially, they're in Miyagi's old room, and you see all those signs that they have posted up there in the background behind Robbie, and then in the lower right hand corner, it's basically they're just preparing to do an exercise in balance essentially. But in this case, all they're doing is just trying to balance two pots, right, on a circular board in a pond. And I think what we saw in the last big trailer, was that you'll see Robbie and Samantha standing on top of it and doing kata, and basically learning about balance that way.
Absolutely. And now also, in the background, we have Daniel talking about, ever since he won the tournament, he's all he's thought about doing is destroying Cobra Kai. Right. Yep. That's all ever since he's won the tournament. That's been his whole entire goal, has been to destroy Cobra Kai. Right. Yep. And hey, Scrub, we are really hyped now for season 2 here.
And welcome to Scrubs, my co-host on the Knights Pod podcasts, and fellow Karate Kid fanatic. So let's go into our third sequence here. And what do you got here, Dog?
Yep, and so we get as Daniel's talking about, defeating Cobra Kai, right? And now his wife is basically what's it? I forgot his wife's name again.
It's Amanda. Yeah,
right. Amanda, right? Yeah. And she's like, by starting your own karate dojo or whatever, right? And are you going to be able to balance that? And Daniel's like, hey, balance is my thing, right? And he's pretty cocky about that, right? He's been learning about balance, all his life here, right? So, and his wife gives him the look, right? Yeah. And that's what's going on here. Then we get a nice shot of the beach, right? And again, it's that tone, that the colors and things of that nature, kind of like when we went back to the very, very first picture, that it gives you that Karate Kid feel.
Yeah, it's Southern California, right? Man. It's Southern California.
Right. And now we see the gear, the stick there, right? And it's got the Cobra symbol there. I'm assuming this is Johnny.
You think so? See, I was asking a question about that. I'm wondering.
I wanted to ask you about this, Milt.
Okay.
That's why that big Cobra Kai is there, right? The car. Okay. I forgot to put the picture of the car here, right? But the car is actually black and yellow now. And I was wondering if Johnny did a paint job on it. However, I was wondering if like Terry Silver I can't remember if it was Terry Silver or somebody else had a Cobra Kai license plate. In another film.
Honestly, I don't think it is Johnny's, because we saw two cars. I mean, Johnny has a red car, right? A red Challenger. And then what we saw was kind of like a silver black, the yellow stripes Challenger in this trailer here. I think that's Crease's car. I think Crease is the one that's still, all in this Cobra Kai, mythology and Cobra Kai cult,
Or is it possibly?
But it wouldn't surprise me, though. It wouldn't surprise me if, if the car was paid and bought for by somebody behind the scenes, maybe a Terry Silver. Yeah.
I'm just wondering if that could, I don't know if it could be one of the students at all. I doubt if it's one of the students.
No, it's definitely not one of the students. No way. I mean, I'm thinking it could be Crease's, but the car could be bought and sold for by Terry Silver at the end. But it's just me. But but it still could be Johnny, right? I mean, Johnny may have turned to the dark side, and this could be a scene from the end of the season where he's completely turned. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and then we see some more scenes, what we showed last time, of basically the Cobra Kai Dojo appearing on TV and basically making some sort of promotional video. And nothing's really, groundbreaking here in terms of what they're doing. But, just another scene of them, becoming all, acclimated to social media and hype. What do you think?
This almost, to me, looked like they were at like an outdoor party of some kind, possibly at a beach somewhere, right? But they had, because like you could see a crowd of kids, onlooking them, right? And Johnny's like, hey, we got some new recruits here, right? Let's show them what real Cobra Kai, show them what real karate is, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And then we see them kind of setting up the bricks there, right? And they set them on fire, and we see Johnny just cream all the bricks, right? And then a bunch of people are screaming because it looks awesome, right? So
yep. And hello, Game of Theories with Marie, and Scrubs basically has a interesting point. Maybe that is a different car, but maybe it could be Hawk's car that Crease might have given him during the season.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, and or it could be even like Bad Girl's car, Tori, right? I mean, it looks like there might be two Dark Apprentices here, and but we know Crease is still a bum, right? So it has to be bought and paid for by somebody with a little bit more money. And who do we know has money in the Karate Kid universe?
Mr. Silver.
Yep. The Toxic Waste King himself. All right, so let's go into our next sequence here, and you got some touching father and daughter moments here.
All right, yeah. So it looks like Sam is really concerned about the crazy karate fad that's overtaking the school, right? And now Daniel's basically, well, that's why I'm starting Miyagi Dojo, right? So and now the things that I was kind of concerned with the last time we were talking about Cobra Kai Melt was, hey, why aren't these kids sanding the floor and painting the fence?
Yep.
And, not, and doing all the things that Daniel had to do, right? How are they getting away with all this, right? They answered my question, and hey, yes, they're painting the fence and sanding the floor and all that stuff. So hats off to Robbie there for doing all this work, right?
Yeah.
And we get a nice shot of, oh, go ahead, Mel.
Well, and the bad thing is it's just Robbie, because I think this is pre-opening of the school, right? So basically Robbie's doing all the hard work getting the school ready, getting the dojo ready. So it's just like Daniel.
And then get this, right? Now, I don't know if this is exactly how this goes down, but the way the trailer makes it look like that, Robbie's doing all the work here, right? Yep. And now we get the shot of, it looks beautiful. It looks like the ending to Kill Bill 1 there with Oren Ishii and Beatrix, right, going at it, right? It's just a nice scene of the backyard here, right? And I'm ready to watch them go at it now, right? Yeah. But now Sam shows up, and she's like, hey, got room for one more, right? Yeah. After they did all the work. Right.
Well, but here's the thing, right? Sam is Daniel's daughter, so I'm sure he's protecting her a little bit from doing all the hard work. So, and maybe Daniel thinks Robbie needs to learn humility, and this is the way to do it. Sort of like what Daniel had to do.
But right, yeah, I guess that's kind of what happened there, right? But I mean, I just thought it was just kind of funny that they show Robbie doing all this work, and then Sam's just like, hey guys, let me join too.
Well, I mean Sam
on in after I think we get our first lesson here.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, Sam is doing some work, right? I mean, she's doing the work of basically expressing her concerns about the Cobra Kai cult overtaking the high school. So, yeah, I mean, Robbie's not doing that, right? Because I'm not even sure if Robbie even goes to high school. So, right? We've always seen him working or basically, stealing computers, right? So, we don't know what's happening with Robbie here. And hello, Fearless Mermaid and John Matrix. Thanks a lot for coming out here. So, so first lesson, and I bet you it's probably going to be about balance. So, let's go to the next slide.
All right.
What do you have
here,
here,
Marie? Also, Marie showed, and Bobby Catalano just showed up too. Yeah. Oh, next slide here, right? Okay, so now we're going to get a look at our, it looks like our newest recruits to Miyagi Dojo. Yeah. Right, so I know Johnny talked about, hey, new recruits, Cobra Kai is going to show you how, what badass karate looks like, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but now we get a look at the new students of Miyagi Dojo here, right?
Yep.
And it looks like, and forgive me, Milt, I am fired. Who is the guy he was Hawk's buddy?
Oh yeah, that's Dimitri. So basically, Hawk, Miguel, and Dimitri were running around together before this whole Karate Kid, kicked off, and and all three of those guys were being bullied by Kyler, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and we didn't see Kyler at all. I didn't notice Kyler in this trailer at all, right?
Yeah.
But,
yeah. I mean, I think Kyler's still running away from the beach from last season.
Yeah, and now a lot of the trailer kind of goes back and forth with what's going on with Miyagi Do and the Cobra Kai students a little bit, right? But we also get the unveiling of the OG Karate Kid ride.
Oh
right?
yeah,
from Detroit.
Yeah, some kind of yellow convertible from the 50s that's basically pushing 70 years old now. But as you saw from the last trailer, we didn't see it up and running in this trailer, but from the last trailer, we saw them basically cruising the beach in it, Daniel, Sam, and Robbie. So that thing is still running, which makes sense considering Daniel has a auto dealership, right? So he can probably get his guys to work on it, for minimum pay.
Right. And we know that vehicle definitely got waxed up and was looking pretty shiny. And Robbie tells us in this trailer that he foresees a can of wax in his future. So
yeah,
which is kind of in his past because again we've seen the shined up, polished version in the last trailer. So I don't know if that made any sense. That was kind of my Spaceballs version of what's going on. But back to. Now we jump to Cobra Kai students and what they're going through, right? And no, this isn't a scene from It or anything like that, kids. But no, this is what Cobra Kai training is all about. Hop in the cement truck here, right? And try to crawl, with cement shoes. Actually, I think that's what's happening here. And Crease is just looking like, like he wouldn't want to be anywhere else in the world right now, right? I mean, he's pretty happy there, right? And Johnny's he's in command here, right? Come on, work together as a team, things of that nature. He's still being true to his character from last season, right? But now he's got Crease just smiling away, right? And then we see what's going on here with these kids in the cement truck. So what do you think about this training method?
Yeah. So what kind of training is this? Is it like a balanced kind of training? Or an equilibrium kind of training going on here? Basically putting kids in a cement truck and basically turning it while they're in it.
What if your enemy was, was the cementer? I mean, you had to fight in cement.
Yeah, I guess.
Or in the trenches of craziness, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe it's to train people to always maintain a point of reference somehow, or try to, so they don't get out of balance and basically out of sync with their own, feelings or whatever. Hey, a quick question for you, Dog. Do you think Robbie's going to end up waxing all those cars like Daniel did? Remember, Daniel had to wax like 5 cars, and then he got his pick, right, for his birthday. So what do you think is going to happen here? Because I see one more car covered up.
Oh, he's going to wax that one too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, and I'm wondering, Milt, like he's in the sling here, right?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's his injury from the tournament, do you think, or is that something? Something else. So this might be right prior to like Samantha joining, right, and the other recruits, right? So I would think that he's going to be waxing a few cars.
And also, don't you think it's kind of like cruel and unusual punishment for like Daniel to basically, make him start sanding the floors and painting the fences when he's still kind of recovering from that injury? I know. I'm just saying.
Right, it is.
I'm just saying.
At least do the Miyagi, whatever that thing is, right? The friction rub here, right?
Yeah, and then you had to call the paramedics afterwards, right? So, anyway, and an interesting point about Dimitri, Scrubs is talking about, could it be that maybe he's the X factor in all of this? He's like the third wheel, the third factor here. Then maybe he's going to actually turn out to be like the Daniel of the series.
That's a great point. And I was kind of thinking that earlier. he's like a dark horse to win the championship. You know, the next time we have a tournament, I was kind of thinking that as we kind of get into this trailer, we finally we get we get our first sight of him, at Miyagi Do, right? We saw him try Cobra Kai last season, right? But we're getting, it's going to get a little bit tense for him, if you will, and conflicting. And I could definitely see that happening. And he's like my dark horse to like win the whole tournament now. I remember I talked about was it Aisha or Aisha, right? Right. I was thinking she might win, right? But this might be my dark horse here to win now.
Sure, yeah, and one last point before you switch slides is in the upper left-hand corner there. I mean, you can see kind of like the total contrast between Cobra Kai and basically the Miyagi Dojo, right? Whereas Johnny's basically just yelling at, his students, calling them pussies and whatever, right? You see these kids just basically meditating. So,
right, yeah, it was great how I liked how they didn't like. Yeah. They kept the trailer balanced, if you will, right? They went Miyagi Do, Cobra Kai, right, and then they kind of show the conflict that was coming, right? So it was a great trailer.
All right, so we're gonna go into the next slide here, and oh boy, Dark Apprentice, go for it, Dog.
And I wanted to make sure that I showed this picture here of the top left, right? Yeah, it's kind of hard to make out, right, but. I didn't know we were talking about how they had that the Cobra Kai event, right? That promotion possibly, right? And I didn't know if this was like a show with Cobra Kai being involved and possibly LaRusso Auto Group, right? So, and my question was, would Mr. Miyagi approve of this? Of having his his karate basically. Used as
it's a commercial
to promote LaRusso Auto Group. I know he loves Daniel and things of that nature, but just being sponsorship and things of that nature. What was that what karate was for?
No. I mean, I don't think Miyagi would approve of this stuff, but he may understand why Daniel's doing it. If he was like desperate or something like that, but he probably wouldn't approve it right now, considering that Daniel is pretty well off. Why does he need to do this? I mean, the whole thing about starting up Miyagi Dojo again was basically a revenge thing against Johnny more than anything else, right? So, that motivation already is at odds with the teachings of Mr. Miyagi.
That was the first thing he asked, or when Mr. Miyagi asked him, what's the reason to learn, and he was like, "How about revenge?"
Yeah.
Right. And then he talked about might as well just dig 2 graves or something, right? And but back to the point of exactly right. Daniel is still on that destroy Cobra Kai kick, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Mr. Miyagi was just like, get out of this situation, but he never was like on a mission to absolutely destroy Cobra Kai, right? I don't think that was.
I mean, the problem is that Daniel is having some, PTSD here, right? Based on his experiences with how big Cobra Kai was, when he was a kid, and he's seen that same thing happen again, right? Where you had this cult basically forming, and also, anyway, after that, we get these scenes and an introduction to Tori here, spelled with a Y, by the way.
Tori with a Y.
Tori with a Y, yeah. And she appears to be this badass who knows a lot about karate already, And basically, she works over Miguel in the classroom, as an introduction. And then you see Johnny and Crease just going, oh, yeah, So we saw a glimpse of her in the last big trailer, where Miguel was just giving her like, kind of like, the lovebird eyes, right? But now we see how much of a badass she is. And what's the story behind her? I have my own ideas about who she really is, but what do you think the story is around her?
Oh, wow. I wasn't even thinking of like, wow, what if she's like related to Hilary Swank's character or something, like her long lost daughter or something, right? She's obviously had some sort of training.
Yeah. I'm thinking that she's like the evil niece of Ali Schreiber.
Ooh, that'd be freaking.
I know. Yeah, seriously, I think she's related to Allie in some way. Not like Allie's daughter, obviously, right? But she's in Colorado, according to Daniel, and they're in LA now. But I think she's some sort of relative of Allie's.
Yeah,
like
they have that same
sort
trait
like an
of
evil niece.
Of like using a letter when they talk about their name, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, she's Tori with a Y.
Yeah.
And now she wants to date Miguel with an L.
Yeah. And there's rumors. Do you remember that guy, Dutch? The guy with the white hair, right? Who was like, who basically ran with Johnny back in the first movie.
Oh, right.
He was that psycho. I was reading some theories that she could be the daughter of Dutch. And Scrubs is talking about that right now. Do you think Tori's the daughter of one of Johnny's old friends? I mean, I don't think so, because you got to go way back, to even understand, who Dutch was. For me, I'm kind of thinking it's some sort of distant relative to Allie. It's sort of like we can bring Allie in the show, but not actually bring her in the show, right? Just
absolutely
bring a relative into the show.
But then you brought it up, Milt, right? Then we saw, Johnny and Crease, and Johnny's like, hey, he gives him kind of the John Belushi eyes, right? And yeah, they're buds, because they're kind of wondering, hey, are they going to be like conflicted? There's going to be some conflict here, right? Yeah. But it looks like after that first, where we left off with the last season, right, that they've kind of come to terms with hanging out here for a bit, right? But it looks like they had a buddy moment here, right? With what was going on here with Tori, right? But she's obviously had some sort of training.
Sure.
And she's going to be a force to be reckoned with, right?
Oh, yeah.
And we get a cut. They clip over to Crease right after that, because this is kind of like a boost moment for Cobra Kai, right? Cobra Kai, great. Everything's going great, right? And now they get Crease, kind of shoving it in Daniel's face. And he's like, I hope your soldiers are ready, right? Yeah. And he goes, and Daniel's like, they're kids, right? Yeah. And then we go to the beach again, and we're getting some Tai Chi on the beach.
So how exactly would Crease know where Daniel lives? Or I think that could be the Dojo, could be Miyagi Dojo, but the only person that actually went there was Terry Silver. So how did he know where the Miyagi Dojo was to visit Daniel?
That's the only thing.
I mean, yeah. And how does Johnny know? I mean, Johnny wouldn't have told him either. He wouldn't know where it is.
Unless one of the other students somehow would let him know. He probably has his ways.
The only person that knows for sure is Terry Silver, man.
Right. I think Terry Silver's in this.
I'm positive that Terry Silver is basically behind the curtain doing something.
He is driving that Cobra Kai. License plate vehicle.
Yeah, we all know that. And then for sure, the peaceful Tai Chi scene along the beach that we saw, I think it's the same scene as the one from the previous trailer. So anyway, a bit of lazy editing there, and we go into the next slide, Dog. What's happening here?
Okay, so now, and we're going back to kind of like what was going on in the beginning of this trailer, right? Where we were talking about, hey, what's Crease gonna do here, right? And we kind of see he's trying to corrupt Hawk here, right? Hawk's pretty pissed off about something, right? And Crease is like, the fight isn't over until you say it's over, something like that, right? Or until you allow it to be over, something to that nature, right? And then we get a little face off, right, with Dimitri and Hawk here, right? And he's like, let's finish this, right? So they make it look like, he got that shiner possibly from Dimitri. But I think what we're going to see here in the what happens here a little later in the trailer is why he's got that shiner, right? And Crease is coming up to him, telling him, hey, this fight isn't over yet until you allow it to be over, right? Yep. And then we get a shot of some dude with a switchblade, it looks like, right? And somebody's choking out Robbie here, and I'm wondering if it's somebody that maybe some corrupt folks that Robbie used to run with, from the prior season, with those other hoodlums, right? Possibly, or these are just some bums on the beach that were harassing them. Yeah. And this is when the trailer kind of heats up, right? We get a cut to go ahead, Mel, if you wanted to cut.
The only thing I wanted to say here is that what we have again is like a Darth Sidious Anakin Skywalker moment again with Hawk, right? So it's obvious that Hawk's gonna go bad, right? It's gonna go really dark, this season, and basically him and basically Hawk and basically Tori, I think, are gonna be like the evil dark apprentices of Crease, and and the thing about Dimitri, it's like Dimitri doesn't even know who the hell Hawk is, or his real name, right? Eli Moshevitz, right? So he's basically he's basically don't know who this guy is anymore, and I don't know what his skills are right now, in that scene where he's about ready to fight, Hawk. I mean, so are you saying that this is the scene where you think Hawk gets his black eye?
Yeah, I think this is going to be the scene, but I don't think it's because of Dimitri. I don't think he gets the black eye from Dimitri. Yeah. And now you can kind of see the kid just over on to the right of Hawk, right? Yep. And I think he was with Miyagi Dojo.
Yes, he was. Yep.
And so it kind of made me think that the kid that was kind of grabbing Dimitri was Miyagi Dojo. Also, he was trying to hold him back.
Yep.
Because at first I thought he was attacking him, right? Like he was like one of Hawk's buddies possibly, and he was attacking him from behind. But it kind of looked like
him back,
Dimitri was going after Hawk. Yeah. And that kid was kind of trying to hold him back at first there, right?
Yeah.
I'm just kind of saying that because I'm pretty sure that the kid on the right is he's on Dimitri's side.
Yeah, and the scene of the scene on the beach, with a switchblade. I mean, these guys seem awfully old to be like the guys running with Robbie in the first season. I wonder if they're like some sort of henchmen that Crease hired to basically poke at Daniel a little bit, by threatening his students.
That was my other possible guess, but I was thinking maybe it was some guys that were coming to collect on him or something, or were coming back for some payback because of the other guys or something, maybe. Or again, I was thinking it might be just some hoodlums, on the street or on the beach in this case, right? Yeah. And then my third option was I was thinking it could have been Crease hiring these guys. Yeah, Crease is kind of evil. Would he go to this level though?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah, but Terry Silver was pulling the same kind of stuff, right?
At least they were kind of still using karate and there was never a thing like this where they were pulling out switchblades. I can't remember that.
No. Yeah. I mean, even Chosen used some base. Didn't he use some baseball bats or whatever? When he went in and basically wrecked Mr. Miyagi's house in Okinawa.
Yeah, he had that spear.
Yeah. So anyway, dogs, what's happening in the bottom right? Why is Daniel so pissed off now at Johnny?
Right. So, and I'm wondering if this had something to do possibly with either the promotional thing or that went down, or maybe that conflict that happens here at the food court. It looks like. Yeah. Something that might have happened at the school that we're going to see, as this trailer goes on here. But Daniel comes in and he's like, hey, a sensei doesn't teach disrespect and
dishonor,
destruction, I think it was, right? Destruction or something like that, right? And this was kind of going back to what I was talking about before, where Daniel was talking about all I've wanted to do since I've won this tournament is destroy Cobra Kai, right? And he's sitting there telling this guy, a sensei doesn't teach disrespect and destruction, and hey, at the same time you're trying to destroy Cobra Kai. So I think Daniel's going to have to come with some sort of grip by the end of this thing about his balance, if you will, too, right? So that
I think the thing here is that I think Johnny is being he's being wrongly accused of basically causing whatever disrespect or dishonor and destruction that that Daniel's accusing him of doing, and for Daniel to be this pissed off, one of two things must have happened. Either some people wrecked the dojo, or they went after Sam.
Right.
Or the student, or Robbie, right? The students in some really, really serious, deadly way here. And, I don't think Johnny's doing this. Okay. I think there's some evil stuff happening around Crease, and that's why he's so angry and mad. So
right, because I don't recall seeing somebody this angry or mad.
Yeah,
in the maybe Miguel a little bit, or showing this kind of emotion. Yeah, even the last season. So I was like, yeah, they definitely they're cranking up the emotion. cranking up the fighting a bit too, I think. So
Yeah, and hello, Jordy Jedi and Rhonda Korkut for stopping by. Thanks a lot for spending some time with us. So yeah, so it's really heating up here, and Daniel is pretty pissed off, and this will probably lead to the last slide, the last scene in this trailer. But before we go to there, let's hit the next slide. So what's happening here?
all right, yeah. So we saw the face off there of you know of Johnny and Daniel after he talked about the you know teaching destruction and disrespect, things of that nature, right? And then we hear in the background Johnny's voice talking to Crease, and he's saying we need to talk, and he tells him we need to talk about the things you're putting into my kids' heads, right? And Johnny, you know, specifically uses my kids now, right? So you know, I love the arc that Johnny's gone through, right? You know, at first he didn't want nothing to do with Miguel, kind of like sort of like Mr. Miyagi with Daniel at first, right? But and now he's got this, you know, now they're his kids, right? You know, he does care about them, right? But and then Crease is just like, and we see, I think that might be Miguel, but I think Hawk was flying down. Yeah. And he comes down and kicks him, and that dude just goes flying right into the tree. Yeah. And chance to watch the trailer because it's a pretty funny look on the kid's face. We get a chance to watch.
The dude in the black with the white stripes is Miguel. Because I mean, he shows up again further on the trailer as we're in the same clothes. And then the guy on the ground, you know, he has like a red headband. He was the same guy that was also kicked in the face, right, by Tori in the last trailer when she did that roundhouse kick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, basically, he's like the dummy, the fighting dummy of all these guys, you know. Crease probably just like picked him out and goes, "Hey, you're gonna take all this, you know, you're gonna take all the punishment today because you came to class late." Who knows why? But yeah, I mean, he's like the patsy at this point, and
right. And Crease is like, "Hey, I've been teaching you the same thing. I'm teaching them the same thing I taught you: strike first, strike hard." And as he says, and then we see Tori say "no mercy," right? And she's got. Looks like some really nasty, like spiked knuckles, right? Yeah. About to lay into Sam there. Yeah. And now, prior to that, like I think when he says like strike first, right? They show Hawk coming in, right? And Robbie, you see him kick Hawk right in the face. So I think that's where he gets the shiner from. Okay. So that's my guess on where that shiner come from, and I think it's gonna pretty much knock Hawk on his butt, right? So. Yeah, and then they showed Sam. It's kind of interesting that they showed strike hard, right? And a dude gets a foot to the throat. So I found that kind of funny. And then then we saw Tori saying "no mercy," and she's about to swing, as we'll see in the next slide. And
hear that, guys? A foot in the throat is always funny. So anyway. So So you know what was cool about this scene, especially in the top left, is that you see Daniel and Johnny basically just face to face, right? And then you see that shot of like Crease in the background. It's like he's like so Darth Sidious here, right? He's going, yeah, come on guys, fight, that kind of stuff. And yeah, I mean, it's almost like Crease wants this to happen because then his plans are going to come into fruition somehow, and. And the scenes in the woods is weird because why are they in the woods? Did Johnny let Crease just take the students out in the woods just so they can beat each other up? Because I don't understand why Crease is there. I don't understand why Johnny's there. I mean, I can understand if Crease just took them secretly out in the woods to teach them, how to kill people or how to just really win at fights. But why is Johnny there, dog?
Well, yeah. Well, we were wondering that last time, the last trailer, because we just assumed that was just Crease there with them, right? I think that this trailer kind of was showing that okay, Johnny was really mad at Crease. He tries to lash out on him, right? Gets thumped a little bit, right? Now he's just like, okay, Crease, we'll be buddies for a bit here, right? And we'll go along with this, right? But so I think they're just out training, and it's Woods Day. Kind of like when on that one episode I think it was the beginning episode, and he sent all the dogs out after him, right?
Yeah. This Wednesday, and that one dude in the red headband's getting his ass kicked by everybody. So,
What if you had to fight like Jason or something at Camp Crystal Lake, right?
Yeah.
So Cobra's got to be ready for anything.
Yeah. Okay. And then I think we get scenes in the mall, right? Is that Robbie? Robbie's back to us, or is that somebody else?
That's Robbie there, right? Yeah. And Hawk coming in, and I think Robbie's gonna kick Hawk right on the face there and give him a nice shiner.
Okay. Yeah. And then that last scene, that last picture in the lower right is pretty freaking serious when, you know, Tori's pulling out those spiked knuckles against Samantha. I mean, spiked knuckles is like on a whole nother level than basically a karate tournament, you know, right? I mean, we're talking, you know, we're fighting for real here, right? We're fighting for keeps.
Absolutely.
We're fighting for keeps.
And she was like, no mercy. And then you just see her. I mean, she's, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen with that. I hope Sam gets out of that, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't look too good for Sam's face right now.
Exactly. And we go into the next slide, and there's a lot of fighting here, especially at the school, looks like, or at the mall, between Tori and Sam. So a continuation of that scene here. And what's causing this, Dog? What's happening? Why are they fighting?
Yeah, and again, I think we've got you know, this is that crazy cult situation or the karate cult situation that Sam was talking to Daniel about. Maybe this kicks us off, or I was kind of thinking this might be around the end of the season here, but you know, I was kind of wondering, you know, where we saw Daniel and Sam talking to one another, you know, about you know. He basically says, you know, this is why I'm starting Miyagi Dojo, things of that nature. And I'm wondering if it has something to do with this incident here. And this incident might be the reason that Daniel is going to Cobra Kai and, you know, having an encounter there with Johnny and getting really upset. I'm thinking this might be the incident that made Daniel really upset.
Yeah, the same here. I totally agree with you, because, I mean, something like this would make Daniel really upset, especially, you know, somebody attacking his daughter. And, you know, I get the feeling that Crease is behind this. You know, this is something that Tori was probably ordered to do.
This might have been, yeah, it might have been like
to instill chaos.
How rumors get started in them schools and things of that nature, right? And then now it's all-out war. Yeah.
So then we get a scene back into into Johnny's students in their white gaze, and you know, this just appears to be like Miguel just shouting orders, right, at the rest of the class.
Right. It's like we see Miguel turning into the new Johnny Lawrence, or Johnny Lawrence, right? Because he's like fighting positions, right? Yeah. And we see Crease looking on all proud, right? Like Cities in the background, right? And and Johnny's like, basically Crease is grooming Johnny to be Crease. Yeah. Right. And Johnny is grooming Miguel to be Johnny.
Yeah. You know, and the thing about Miguel, which I don't remember them talking about anymore, was that he had asthma, and they haven't mentioned his asthma in a very long time. So is the karate helping his asthma? I don't think so.
Don't get asthma.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, because
I don't know, do they?
I mean that's why he was weak, right? I mean, for a lot of times it was because of his asthma. And they don't show that anymore, you know, so it's just kind of a weird thing. That's all. And also, and the thing with Tori and Sam here, is Tori just going to be the nemesis for Sam, or does she represent something more? Because I'm trying to figure that out. Because if she's just going to be like a female nemesis of the female heroine of the show, that's just really lazy writing.
Well, you know, I was afraid of that too, Mel. Yeah. And then until you brought up, well, what if they bring a backstory in where she's like, you know, related to Allie or something, right? You know, some other type of, you know, character that we don't know about, or that we know about, right? That you know might give her some sort of arc to this, right?
Yeah.
And I have a lot of faith in these creators and writers right now. They've had a plan of where the story's been going for. You know, a lot longer than I thought. So.
Yeah, I mean, it almost seems like somebody that hasn't been shown yet is basically putting together like all these characters from 35 years ago, and basically getting them to fight each other, and who has those kind of resources to do that? So anyway, you gotta have a lot of money for that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, to be pulling the strings here. And in the middle scene, we get the same scene as we did last trailer, right? Basically, they're performing kata, imbalanced on a pond. And we saw the picture of Mr. Miyagi, right, in the teaser. And Johnny reflecting on the beach for whatever reason. And what else is going on here, Dog?
Drinky poo there too, I think.
Who?
He's having a little drinky poo.
Okay, yeah. He's boozing up again, perhaps. Yeah. And then another scene that looks like with Tori and Samantha fighting.
Right. So I think that, well, to go to the middle scene here, right? It looks like they got drenched a bit, right? So they've been working at this for a while, right? Now they're starting to figure it out, right, and work as a team here with this. But yeah, it looks like they've gotten a little wet, if you will, right? And then we get the great shot of Mr. Miyagi and Johnny kind of reflecting on the beach and pounding it down, right? But I think this is the shot here prior to Tori busting out the spiked knuckles and going back to our shot that we have here in the top left corner there, right? What that's going to lead to, right? But this is basically a look at Tori right before she's going to get a kick right to the chops, and and I think she gets a busted lip, I think.
Wow.
And she's about to enact revenge, no mercy style.
Dang, yeah. I mean, do you think Tori's really going to hurt Sam with those spiked knuckles, or do you think it's going to be like an empty threat and then she'll back away?
That's what I'm wondering. Is she going to do like the Miyagi honk?
Yeah.
Or is she just going to do the whole? She looks like she is going to follow through with that sucker, man. I'm like,
I know. Well, I mean, if that's the case, then this show has turned really, really freaking dark.
Dark. If she does that, and it's super dark,
dude. If she does this, then Daniel must be like
Thrones if they did.
I mean, Daniel's going to hire his cousin Louis again to do a number on Johnny's car. You know what I mean? And more, I'm talking like, hiring Rocco and Greedo, distant relatives of the family with some couple of baseball bats to bust some kneecaps kind of style going on here. So, it's crazy, man. It's getting really, really dark here for sure. Next slide.
Right. Yeah. So we see her, putting on the knuckles, right?
No mercy.
And then we get a shot of Johnny talking to Miguel, and he's like, "This is not how I taught you to fight." And I think Johnny, we saw him on the beach there right prior to this a little bit, right? He might be reflecting on what's going on, right? This is not, how he wants the kids to learn, the Crease way so much as the Lawrence Cobra Kai way, right? And but now we see that there's some intensity here, right? We see Robbie running down the hallway, right? Something is definitely going on at school. It's possibly this fight with Tori, and that's kind of the way they make it look. It might be the fight with Tori and Sam, right? But Miguel looks like he's more not so angry or just very scared or concerned, or he's having one of those Luke Skywalker no moments, right? Or Obi-Wan no moments, like Qui-Gon Jinn just got thumped there a little bit, right?
Yeah, so, yeah. I mean, he really has that. He really has that Martin Brando face going on.
I'm sorry, Mel.
He really has that Martin Brando face going on there.
Right. Yeah. Hey, Stella.
Yeah.
Exactly what's going on here. Hey, Stella.
Anyway, so in the upper right hand corner there, that's Robbie. It looks like, right?
Yeah, that's Robbie.
Now, do you think he's going after somebody, or do you think he's going to stop the fight between Tori and Sam? And on the other side, Miguel, is he is he doing the same thing, running towards the fight and also trying to stop it as well? So basically, we have the girls fighting, and then the two guys, the two other students, are basically trying to stop it, right? Is that what you think's happening here?
That's what they make it look like. They did a good job making it look that
or
way.
Could these be happening in different times?
Right.
Yeah.
And because I'm wondering if that, because they kind of make it look like Miguel's making that, like he's screaming possibly at Tori to stop from following through and going crazy, right?
Yeah. And all right, man. Yeah, I mean, a lot of focus on the school scene here. Then we get into a fight on the beach. And who is that in the green shirt?
That, I believe, is Daniel's son to the rescue of Robbie and possibly Sam, right? With the switchblade guys. I think Daniel's going to come in and have a Mr. Miyagi moment where we're going to go, wow, Daniel is still badass. Because we really didn't get to see him, show any, other than we saw him kind of standing on, on his hands, I think, like Luke Skywalker a little bit in season 1, right? But, I think we're going to see Daniel just come in and whoop those thugs down.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing we're missing is just basically an old broken bike and a bunch of dudes in skeleton costumes. Before Daniel comes in, right?
And then we see a shot of Johnny right after that, and looks like he got into it with somebody, and he's giving somebody the good, the old elbow, to the chops, if you will. Yeah.
So I mean, it's probably before or after he boozes it up on the beach, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah. And then some more fights, and you see Tori doing those sweet kicks, those really sweet kicks of hers, right? So.
Now Tori, it looks like Samantha made a nice evasion move there.
Yeah.
Right. However, prior to this, I got the shot right prior to Tori taking it right to the chops from Samantha, right? But it looks like Tori's going to get the upper hand at the in the end of this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she fights dirty, and do you remember Karate Kid 3, right? I mean, Mike Barnes was always getting the upper hand on Daniel-san, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So, Tori to me is starting to remind me a lot of Mike Barnes. Like, Mike was the bad boy of karate. Well, I mean, I think Tori's going to be the bad girl of Cobra Kai here.
And while this is all going on, we just hear the chants of Cobra Kai, Cobra Kai, Cobra Kai, right?
Yeah. Poor Samantha, because, what do you think of her abilities right now as a karate practitioner? Right, she's trained since she was like 3 years old, right? And then she started to pick up again. She's picking it up again. What do you think? Is she on the level of Aisha or who?
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah, she actually beat Aisha.
Yeah.
She might be able to.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably evenly matched, I'd say. I mean, is she on the level of, say, Johnny Lawrence and Daniel in their first match?
Mm-hmm.
Back then, is she on that level? Because she have taken.
No. I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think she's on the level of Johnny or Daniel. But then again, it's weird because in the first movie, right, you saw Johnny. We all know Johnny was like the defending champion or defending 2-time champion or whatever, right? So we knew he's worked hard and basically worked many years to be, Mr. Karate champion. And then Daniel spends the summer with Mr. Miyagi, like, balancing on a boat, right? And basically doing doing kata along the beach, and all of a sudden he beats him in the tournament. So maybe it's just a different style,
I mean, he was trained by Mr. Miyagi, right? It would be like getting trained by Darth Vader or something, or Emperor Palpatine, right? Getting trained by him, or
like Yoda, or like Yoda, so like Luke Skywalker, right? I mean, all Luke Skywalker had to do was spend 6 weeks on Dagobah with Yoda, and all of a sudden, he's basically kicking Darth Vader's ass, right? So, yeah. And the same could be said with training under Mr. Miyagi, definitely.
More evidence for your theory of the Karate Kid series being, Star Wars.
That's right, guys. Stay tuned for that stream. All right, last slide here. What's happening here? We got the fight.
So we get a shot of Daniel, right? And I think what they did, they played with the scenes here a little bit, right? Because the very last thing we see is Daniel getting a foot to the chops, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think the after getting the foot to the chops is what we see in the top left corner here,
Mm-hmm.
right? I think that's after that. And I think that's Daniel pretty mad about getting kicked in the chops, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now, you know, we get a shot of Johnny there, right? And they flash back to the old, you know, the old footage of the film, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Daniel's like, "You want to finish this, right?" And he's like, "You know, bring it on, right?"
Yep.
And then we see the kick, and then they flash the Cobra Kai symbol in season 2, April 24th. Milt, are you stoked, buddy?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're totally hyped for this. Why didn't Daniel do the crane kick move here? Not enough space.
I think he's probably given that one up a little bit. I think that one Mr. Miyagi should have just kind of stuck with. Well, I think he's the one that does it right.
Yeah, I mean, especially after Mike Barnes basically just basically just barreled right into him when he was trying to set up, right? The crane kick by Daniel is pretty much worthless at this point. So. But this is great. Yeah, we can't wait. What an awesome ending to the trailer here when we get the showdown that we always want. And do you remember last time when we were talking about the trailer where we were talking about, hey, there's not going to be a tournament in this season? And I think we're right. We're not going to see a tournament, guys, in this season.
And then we were wondering, hey, are these two guys going to fight?
Yeah.
We got our answer here. There's definitely going to be a little scrum here, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily a full-on, I think what happened here, top left, is right after Johnny kicked him.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe Daniel gets a shot in, and then somebody breaks it up, right? But Mel, the other thing I wanted to ask you, where are they at here? Are they at Johnny's apartment here? Where are they at?
Well, yeah, it looks like Johnny's apartment for sure.
Like why? Okay, why is Daniel over there, or maybe has something to do with Robbie, maybe,
or something to do with Sam? Maybe it's post school fight with Sam and Tori.
Oh yeah, we did. They were showing a little bit of a little romance kind of happening possibly with Robbie and Sam, of course, too.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
You're right. Yeah, I mean, so it could be something like that. Maybe they're both there because they're worried about their kids.
It's like Romeo and Juliet, man.
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
It's in Montague's, right?
Yeah, and so Dawg, you think this is the last scene of the season?
Do I think what?
Do you think that this is the last scene of the season?
Do I think this is the last scene of the whole entire season?
Yeah, season 2.
Oh, that would be crazy if they did it that way. No, I don't know.
Okay.
I think we're gonna get another type of cliffhanger where I think that might be our thing. We might get somebody else brought in, a Sato,
I mean
a Terry Silver, a Barnes, something like that. It might be just the style of, I don't know how many seasons they have planned for this, right? Or how they want it to end exactly, but I kind of think that that's going to be their their episode 9s, if you will, like how we have amazing episode 9, episodes for Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah.
I think this is going to be kind of their thing, is going to be that little cliffhanger ending at the end where, oh, hey.
Okay. Now, and okay, so this is my prediction. I think they're going to start fighting and then it's going to cut over to the scene with the mysterious stranger, but it has to be written where the mysterious stranger is appearing for a reason, right? You can't just all of a sudden have a guy appear out of nowhere, right? There has to be some other kind of scene going on, whether or not it's with Hawk or Crease or whatever. I mean, there has to be something for this mysterious person to come on, and if it is Terry Silver or Mike Barnes, then I can see this fighting scene cutting over to a scene with Crease. And in comes Terry and Mike, or in comes just Terry. Okay. In terms of the Sato thing, like we were talking about last time, I think somebody mentioned in a comment section of our stream that the actor that basically plays Sato passed away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, passed away like in the early 2000s.
We were talking about this. What if Chosen came back?
What if who?
Chosen.
Yeah. What if Chosen comes back? I don't know. Do you think Chosen will still hold a big grudge against Daniel to basically pulling the strings?
This was great because I think when this was a thought I had. I was like, that'd be kind of weird if, let's say, the odds are really stacked, against Daniel, right? He needs a buddy, kind of, right?
Yeah.
You bring Chosen in, and Chosen's like, hey, look, you know, the only way I can possibly regain my honor, right, is helping Miyagi Dojo karate here, right, or something like that, right? It would help my honor, right, and if I buddied up with you, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Or they could just have him come in and be a villain. They could go either way with it, and I think it would work. I think it would work if they made him a good guy, or if they made him or if they made him the heel.
Yeah. Awesome, man.
I don't know
Yeah.
how you feel about that, Mel. If it felt like he was, if he came in, he was like, "Hey, I could restore my honor by being buddy with you."
Yeah. I don't know what's gonna happen to Chosen, because, like, after that fight where he lost to Daniel, right, in Karate Kid 2, I mean, he was pretty much like thrown out of the family by Sato, right? Because he basically treated everybody with dishonor, and perhaps Sato basically busted him down to like janitor, right, of his company, and then he had to work his way up to basically redeem his honor. And now he's like a really good guy now, right? Like a really honorable person. In that case, I can see them helping Daniel-san, but I'm not sure if the writers and producers are going to focus on the Okinawan aspect as much as the kind of like the Californian aspect, right, of the first and third movies. Right, where we get the bad boy and Terry Silver.
The only thing I can recall right now is was like a clip they showed, one of the clips of one of the scenes where I think it was Daniel and Robbie, and he saw the drum, right, and that's all. That's the only thing I can really remember from as far as references to Karate Kid 2. You're absolutely right, Mel.
Yeah, but I mean, the drum could be foreshadowing, right, to some kind of Okinawan aspect.
That's what I love about this show.
Coming into play, so we don't know. See, I mean, there are at least four main characters from the original trilogy that needs to be shown here, right? We got Terry, we got Mike Barnes, we got Chosen, and we have Allie too.
Right.
We have Allie.
I mean, they showed that drum.
Yeah.
By showing that drum, it links the show to Karate Kid 2.
Yeah. Yep. And we will find out, guys, in the chat. Scrubs thinks that's going to be a bad boy with Terry.
Oh, that would be great.
So, or Mr. T Silver, and perhaps bad boy. And he thinks that maybe a twist would be Chosen joins the bad boy, and both of them are with Terry. So now it's gonna be like a 4-on-1 matchup against Daniel-san, man. I mean, if it's 4 against 1, Daniel's not gonna win, okay, right? There's no freaking way he's gonna win, because Mr. Miyagi is not all of a sudden gonna rise up from the grave and help him out, and there's nobody else left to help him out at this point. So, anyway, and Peter Griffin, thanks for stopping by. And I don't know in terms of how the series is going to be aired. Are all they going to be aired at the same time, or is it going to be a weekly thing? Because it is YouTube, so they can actually probably put it on all at the same time. What do you think, Dog?
That's a good question. I'm going to have to research that and get back with you, Mel.
Yeah.
It starts April 24th. Does that mean they release all the episodes at once?
Yeah, because if they do that, I'm definitely going to binge it.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to binge that all night.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it takes, man. It's
if your question was how are we going to do it as far as streaming or something, reviews?
Oh, yeah.
We'll get back with you. Like, are we going to do a couple episodes, or we're going to do the whole thing? It's that we'll have to discuss amongst
According to Rhodes Ran on Star Wars, they said that last season they uploaded all of them on at the same time before.
Right. Yeah, I'll binge watch all of them.
Yeah. So if that's the case, yeah, man, it's gonna be an all-night stream, man. So anyway, and but in terms of how we're gonna stream it, I have no idea. We're gonna stream each episode, or just like have a summary after we binged it.
My favorite part, Mel, was when they were doing the Cobra Kai chant at the end.
Yeah,
I was so happy.
All right, so guys, we're gonna have twist for our streams now. Basically, I'm calling this Destiny's Wheel. Okay, it's basically a random wheel where we're gonna get some questions from the chat. I didn't warn you guys, so we don't have any questions from you guys, but we have some questions ourselves, and basically these are like who kind of questions, like who do you think is gonna happen here, or who do you think is gonna do this, And one of my questions was, who's going to get beat up first? And I have no idea who's going to get beat up first. But the wheel of Destiny, or Destiny's wheel, is going to tell us who's going to get beat up first. So now I'm going to go spin the wheel. And this wheel is going to tell us who gets beat up first, because the wheel knows all. It is the wheel of Destiny.
We don't. We can assure you somebody's going to get beat up, though.
Looks like Robbie's going to get beat up first, Dog. What do you think about that? You think the wheel's right here?
It could. And again, I had to ask you before, did you think that sling was from the tournament injury, or was this possibly he got beat up?
Yeah.
Wheel might know something we don't.
Yeah. So I think Robbie, I can see Robbie being the one who gets first beat up in the season. I can see that.
Daniel's going to beat him up by making him wax on and wax off.
Yeah.
While he's injured. So we kind of, from a certain point of view, he is getting beat up by Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
So Wheel, hey, so far Wheel's so good.
Okay, Dog, how about you? So we're going to do like 3 questions. Dog, you have a question?
Okay, I think I had, who's going to get pregnant this season?
Tell me when to stop.
And big bucks, no whammies, and stop.
Hawk is going to get pregnant.
Awesome. So that answers our question here. The Wheel knows that Hawk is going to be the Cobra Kai that's pregnant.
Okay, now, so my question now is basically, who is going to be the breakout star of the season? Tori is going to be the breakout star, and I can definitely see that. I mean, she is going to be the bad girl. So,
she might be the Darth Maul of our series.
Yeah. I mean, she's a very attractive girl, right? And she has a bad attitude. So definitely, So it looks like the wheel has been pretty much. The wheel could be right on 2 of the 3 questions, Dog.
The wheel never lies.
Yeah, totally. The wheel never lies. You have another question, Dog? We could do top 5 here to fit with our theme.
Definitely.
Go ahead, Dog. Shoot me a question.
Oh, another question. We got a question in here from the chat at all?
No. Any questions from the chat?
Okay. Oh, you know what? Who wins the next All Valley tournament?
Okay, who wins the next All Valley tournament? And guys in the chat,
probably not going to be this season, but if they have another tournament, who's going to be our next champion?
And guys in the chat, okay, Peter Griffin. Okay, we're going to say number 5 for Peter Griffin. So, Dog's number 4 is who is going to win the next karate tournament. And then we got to stop. And Destiny's Wheel says Robbie.
It kind of makes sense.
What do you think? What do you think?
Kind of the favorite going into that one, I'd think. To get a little revenge, I guess, or
as long as he doesn't get like blindsided by Hawk again. I mean, he was on his way to winning it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So all right. So the wheel's not lying, and our last question of the night before we leave is from Peter Griffin, who says, "Who will switch sides?" Peter, you're gonna need to type in the chat when you want me to stop, okay? So here it goes.
Spinning wheel, got to go round.
Yeah. Spinning.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, there it is.
Stop.
Aisha is gonna switch sides. Switch sides for good or switch sides for more evil, Doug?
I could possibly see that, her switching over to Miyagi Dojo, but at the same time, I think she's pretty loyal to Sensei Lawrence. But again, the wheel never lies. The wheel knows all. And who am I to argue with the wheel?
Yeah, I think Aisha's like in this. She's like in this weird position. She's like in no man's land with Miguel, right? But she's still friends with Sam, who is on the good side, right? The light side of the force, right? And then I can also see Crease, basically, whispering sweet nothings in her ear, and goes, you can, you're big, you're powerful, you can be champion. Come over to me.
Definitely can see that. Yeah, the wheel definitely knows, though. It's definitely going to be. She's going to switch sides. We just don't know exactly what side that's going to be.
Yep. And so the wheel knows it all. I mean, the wheel has given us some pretty good answers this time. So anyway,
that supports the wheel.
Yep. So new concept, new game on all future Westerosi Ninja chats. Okay, it doesn't matter what fandom, because the wheel can work with any fandom you want it to work with. So thanks a lot, guys, for that, for joining and playing with us. And our last slide. What do you think's gonna happen, Dawg? Did you like the trailer? Tell me how hyped you are. Tell me the end game for the season 2.
My hype was cranked up to 11, as they say. All right, so I was so happy. You shared that with me that day.
Yeah.
And again, I was just kind of stupefied after watching it, and I was like, it was so intense by the end of it. Mm-hmm. The Cobra Kai chants, and I was just, they're cranking it up this season. A lot of our questions were answered that we had from the last time we talked about this. Mm-hmm. And I was absolutely stoked, Mel. And again, I don't know what I'm more stoked for, this or Game of Thrones right now. I'm stoked for both right now, but hey, it's a great time for entertainment right now. So
totally. And this trailer was completely, off the hook. I mean, it was great. And the link of the trailer is in the stream description, so go please check it out. My predictions for this season is that it's going to be a lot darker than the first season was last season, okay? Because last season was intro, I mean, parts of it was very lighthearted. I don't think there's going to be much lighthearted moments in this season here. It's going to get serious, guys, okay? And as you saw from the scenes at the school with Tori and Sam, it may be like serious, like for keeps. That kind of serious. So, like personal, so, I mean, I'm really hyped for this, and I'm exactly on board with you, Dawg, when saying that, this is pretty much on this almost very, very close to the same excitement level, as season 8 Game of Thrones. In fact, I'll be more disappointed if Cobra Kai season 2 was a disappointment than if Game of Thrones season 8 was a disappointment. Because I'm kind of expecting that. So, with season 8 of Game of Thrones.
I mind that this could possibly even do a Last Jedi on us, right?
Yeah.
I got my Last Jedi jab in. Finally. I don't know if I got one in earlier, but yeah, I did. I finally got that right hook in. So, that didn't even occur to me that this could possibly even suck.
Yeah.
No, I think this is going to be absolutely fantastic, and
I'll be devastated if they pull off a Last Jedi on us. Seriously.
Those Last Jedi, I will be in tears, and I'm going to give up on entertainment if this doesn't work out. No, I won't.
Yeah, no. All right. So with that, guys, let's see. Thank you everybody who joined in the chat. Rose Rants, Scrubs, Peter Griffin, Shannon Thompson, John Matrix, The Fearless Mermaid, Jordy Jedi, Rhonda, Kakut, Bobby Catalano, Game of Theories with Marie, and Living My Rhapsody, and Rhodes Rants. So thank you all for joining us this evening to talk some Cobra Kai Season 2. And Dawg, any last words? What's happening with you before we sign off?
You can see me on Rhodes Rants on Star Wars, who's in the chat right now, and you can see me on Tuesday with him at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Tuesday Night Live. So we have a lot of fun on Tuesday nights. And also, you can look forward to us, I believe, on Good Friday, the 19th. I'm going in there, folks, and Rhodes is going in there too, and I believe John Matrix is too. We're gonna do a Last Jedi rewatch party, so be sure to check out Rhodes Rants on Star Wars for that. And you're gonna hear Dawg with the reaction to what I feel is the worst film in the history of film.
Worse than Mary Poppins?
Worse than that, yeah. Okay. Worse than the new Mary Poppins.
All right. And also, hey, thanks a lot, Dawg, for stopping by here. Basically, I'm going on vacation for sure on next Tuesday now. So there won't be any streams, at least on my end, until with you, Dawg, and myself on my channel, until probably in a couple weeks. But in a couple weeks, we will be doing for our regular top 5 shows. We will be doing our top 5 moments of the previous week's season 8 Game of Thrones episode. Right. For the next
we'll be right
weeks.
on track because Game of Thrones starts this Sunday anyway, right? So
yeah, so we'll be like the last stream that recaps the previous week's episode right before the new episode comes on that evening. So should be fun. Really should be fun. So and also, I think that's it. So I will see you in a few weeks, maybe 2-3 weeks on trivia as well as my channel and with Dawg. And that's pretty much it, Dawg. So thanks a lot, everybody, for coming out. And we will see you guys later.
Yeah.
Ninja, JK, dupla, jinxa, bota, chakra em cada linha de faca. Face, macramé no micado, base, espadas por frases, sintático, repara no que diga, é paradigmático, não tenho paralelo, sou para lá de mágico, sabes como rolo, martelo pneumático, técnica secreta do monstro roxo. Estamos a meter-nos no dojo, estamos a manter comes no jogo, só com uma espada nos tojos. Plano picado, não sabes de onde esta ave vem, nenhum radar pode detectar onde está a nave, mãe, tu sabes bem. Somos a clique, somos o clã. É Monster Jinx cabrão, respeito ao vais comer tartan. Na terra do nunca não digo banzai. Vivo na espunca e tenho um bonsai. Ninja que é ninja, ninja, frotas imperiais. E bate mal, logo bate mais. A minha crew não sem espelhos. Na rua, dragão azul, dragão vermelho. Sento o silêncio. Verso shinobi, nunca me canso. Sou de Nairobi, ágil como um ninja. Rápido como um ninja, letal como um ninja. Brutal como um ninja, fatal como um ninja. Forte como um ninja, secreto como um ninja. Devo mesmo ser um ninja.
Esta é para os meus ninjas, só para os meus ninjas. Onde é que estão os meus? Ninjas, 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 ninjas. Esta é para os meus ninjas, só para os meus ninjas. Onde é que estão os meus? Ninjas, 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 ninjas,
Samurai manda a pausa, tartaruga ninja, sensei roda no ar, Kawasaki ninja, Jinx é só shurikens, estrelas ninja, eu só me dou com os meus, muralha da China, o caminho do tigre. Cobra Kai, cobra cabelo, cuspo veneno, curto o teu medo, bate o sai, chega o teu pelo, mato do gelo, todo de preto, sado ao samurai, sabre com sangue, saque, bota mais, no queiro com cutelo, sou o zorro no tornado, katana a brilhar, demónio no banco do lado, agora vês-me, agora não, bomba de fumo, teleportado, Darth Vader desta merda, olha-me de esguelha, estás esganado. Eu sou a morte, dou-te com a ceifa no cachaço, corta melancia, fruto ninja perturbado, ninja reconhece ninja, a palavra é samurai, sou um ninja de outra galáxia, Jedi.
Esta é para os meus ninjas, só para os meus ninjas. Onde é que estão os meus? Ninjas, 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 ninjas. Esta é para os meus ninjas, só para os meus ninjas. Onde é que estão os meus? Ninjas, 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 ninjas.